Welcome, everybody, to something really special that's happening here today in the Akashic Academy. Episode 1 of the Akashic Playground is happening right now. And I'm not going to lie, we are building the airplane in the air around here. So here's the idea of this show. I plan to turn this into a bit of a circus on up in here because, you know, our enlightenment, our evolution does not have to be so serious. What I want to do is bring you behind the scenes, my friendships of my colleagues who are seriously the most potent and impactful visionaries and difference makers here on the planet. And as this show started coming into conception, I was thinking, all right, maybe we'll start it in January. Well, my friends who this show is also made for have big things happening. This is Dr. Remina. She's got a book coming out. So it's time to get this show on its feet. Here's what y'all can expect today. I'm going to introduce my friend, Dr. Remina, here to y'all. And we are going to go through the next hour exploring, first of all, Akashic Playground. We're going to play in the etheric field today. I want y'all to be playing with us. Then we're going to move into the Akashic Underground. We're going to talk rebellion, what sacred rebellion is happening here on the planet. And then we're going to move into the Akashic After Dark. We're going to talk about the more intimate, sacred, secret aspects of this work that don't get to be revealed all the time. So Dr. Remy, hello. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited for this. Yes.
Yes. Well, yeah, we definitely had a cool synergy when we met. Y'all, here's what I found out about Dr. Remy. Not only is she a metaphysical doctor, she is highly trained in the 3D world of medicine and built a huge practice in the more traditional world. And as she found the limitations of that, she started breaking through with metaphysical medicine, functional diagnostic, nutrition, and different types of energy medicine. I also found out this woman has a huge following based on the power of her work. She was in the Army, blew my mind. And then I saw you with your young son and the mother that you are, and you just made such a powerful impression on me. I'm so excited to have you here and to share your work with my audience. So before we tell your story, can we play some games with you?
Oh, yes, let's go.
All right, you guys out there, I want you guys to play some games too. All right, so we're going to play rapid fire. I want you just everybody to drop in to your own self check-in. All right, you guys play along in the comments as Dr. Remy answers for us what your intuitive check-in is on yourself today, Dr. Remy. All right, so as you're tapping in, what's your favorite color today?
Today we're going to go with purple, intuition.
Yeah, I want to hear y'all in the comments. What's your favorite? What's your favorite color today? All right, what spirit animal is speaking to you today?
Ooh, what's coming to my mind? Lion.
Oh, I love it. I felt it. As soon as you said it, I felt the roar in me. All right, what was the last message that your spirit guide sent you?
Receive. Just be in receptive mode. We get tied up with being in the resistance, but just be in receiving.
Yeah, be in a state of allowance. I'm so with you. Okay, describe your aura to us right now. What color is your aura?
Yellow, bright yellow.
Yeah, I love it. Courage, right? Courage, the lion, intuition, y'all. We're going to get ready to rock and roll here. All right, Dr. Remy, please introduce yourself to our audience here and share more about your story that I was touching on some of those amazing points of when we were coming in the show.
Yeah, so I feel like every time I retell this, retell this story, it's different phases of life. So it all weaves together with where I am today. My younger self the lesson that came to mind was finding myself, the courage and sense of worth. I grew up in a immigrant family. My parents came from a developing country. So in a South Asian culture, women were limited, right? And so not only am I faced with the first generation in the United States, these cultural expectations that were always restrictive. So I had to figure things out. We were in the mindset of scarcity, that generational trauma that was handed down to me. And I felt the outcomes of that growing up. the insecurity, the social status, things like that. But what I found was after I graduated high school, I joined the military. I know, and you've seen me, I'm like tiny 4'11" and a half feistiness. So, so out of high school, I just joined the military. And during that time, we were, what year was that? 2003. So 2004, I was deployed to Iraq. And I grew in so many ways. Imagine a teenager, you go out to war, you are searching for yourself. For me, I got more than I thought I was looking for. It's exactly, oh, thank you. It was exactly what I needed. So I remember there was this huge explosion and it hit a bunch of gas tanks and it was a near miss. And I think back because I thought to myself, I'm like, thank God there's a higher power saying I'm not done yet. This is a wake-up call. Stop getting in your own way. And this is before I tapped into my inner higher self, right? Like we all have that within ourselves. And I just was getting closer to my highest frequency as I could. I didn't know at the time. So my little 18-year-old brain there was like, okay, well, what can I do? Because I'm worth more. But what am I going to do? What can I do? So I told myself, you know what? I'm going to stop the negative limiting beliefs and get the tools I need. So what's going to make me separable and unstoppable? Knowledge. So my mission when I got back to stateside was to go get an education, because I'm the first one in my family at that time to even break that path. So education would not only set me up with, well, no one's going to tell me I can't do something. They will not outsmart me. And if they do, I will learn the tools. I know how to. And get the stability so you don't have to be in that scarcity. So I picked up those tools, and that was just the beginning of it, because when we look at generational trauma, it lasts at least 5 generations and it shows up different ways. And it goes into, oh gosh, so many, not only karmic patterns, but also in our physical form. So as I was going through my studies, I started tapping into, well, I was forced to tap into my spiritual journey, and the healing actually started. So I was in undergrad school at UT Austin, and I kept having panic attacks, and it was part of that little voice that was like, you're what are you doing here? You're not good enough. You're imposter, and all that, we just talked about that, but it's that little voice limiting us. Well, who's that? Well, it's the people in the past that told me I couldn't, the ones that made such an impact of my upbringing that told me I couldn't, but it was up to me to stop that. And so I did anything at that time that I thought appropriate, right? I went to the counselor to try to get talk therapy, which was not helpful. The physician, the conventional medicine doctor, who basically said, here's some medicine and it's all in your head, tough it up, right? Like whatever. And to me, that was appalling, because I know I experienced that, and I never do that to my own patients. But what I learned through that was our system is a bandage reactive approach. What's really going to give you the tools to heal? And so as I came across this yoga teacher on campus who trained in India and taught me the skills to breathe and to meditate and go back to the roots. And it was the most beautiful thing, because that's what got me through. That woke me up, the part of me awakening. And from there, I used the tools. I moved on. I graduated. I got into medical school, got through that anxiety, the panic attacks that didn't show up again, because I knew how to heal it and where it was from. And so I'm a big proponent of truly being holistic and using all these lifestyle factors. So then it comes the next phase, right? Like I get into medical school and I'm still using those tools every day. I meditated. I didn't care. I'm going to go meditate and I will do me, leave me alone, solitude, and from all those tools that helped me get through where I started, where not being expected to become anything. I graduated at the top of my class. I graduated top 5, not 5, but 5. And I don't say that with ego, but I say it with, imagine the power of taking your own life into your own hands, owning your worth, getting your tools to know you could be unstoppable. So I practice those. I show people you can tap into your higher self. And so I got into my residency of choice, graduated at top, and then COVID hits. I'm a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, full-fledged physician practicing on my own. I'm like, what is this war zone that we cannot see, right? So it also exposed the big gaps in our system. And I was just burnt out. And that was a whole different phase, burnout. And I'm big on that too, because you don't necessarily have to work yourself to death to be amazing. And in that time, yes, our system is broken. So reactive bandage approach, when you need it, that's great, right? If you have a stroke, good, you need to be there. If you have a heart attack, but what true healing happens is it's personalized. It's getting to root cause. We're not just a body of organs. We're mind, body, spirit. And so with that, I'm like, I need to get back to my roots and actually heal people. So I did a little additional training in functional medicine, and I added my own twist where I combine Eastern and Western medicine and ancient spiritual practices, breath work, meditation, sound healing, and then add in all the advanced tools of medicine that helps us become our highest self. So that's me. I'm here.
You want to see why I love her? Okay, I took so many notes of things that I just want to like comment on. Me and the records just want to ping some things. Y'all, did you get some of these nuggets here? You do not have to work yourself to death to be amazing. Please, somebody type it in the comments for me so I can blast it on the screen. These are transmissions that are coming through. All right. As you have that aha moment within yourself, this woman has walked the path. Okay. So that you're getting a transmission of her energy as you're here. As you find likeness, I'm sure you can find so much likeness in your own story. Well, I don't know. Maybe you didn't go. I didn't go to the military when I was 18 out of high school. And wow. I mean, my brother was a soldier and went to Iraq too as a medic. And he went to Afghanistan as well. And so we have some space and some distance from that at this moment and some lightness around that. And it's a big deal. I thank you for your service too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And grateful for the warrior that you are. I can also see how that past life. So here's what I'm noticing that's happening on the planet right now, everyone, is that not only are we having more access to our own past life memories, but we're also living more lifetimes in this lifetime. So like that past life of you in the military, we're also experiencing the remembrance of bringing all of those skills of our past life into this new life in order to help us into the new timeline. And I love how that warrior nature of you, as you're in this new paradigm, this expression of the new earth, right? You're looking at, you said, what is this war zone that we can't see? The war zone within our own bodies. And that's the place we start. And generational trauma. Yes. It's at least 5 years. And we're getting to the point where y'all, it can take 5 minutes, right? If we understand how to really get in here and do the work. And it's the moment when you say to yourself, okay, you got such good indication signals. Where did I write it down? Oh, you said, you noticed it was up to me to stop it. Okay. Y'all, when you're saying that to yourself about whatever pattern that you're experiencing, you're ready to conquer that. You're ready to move through that or allow, or whatever word you want to use. Whether, you want that warrior energy and you want to power through it, or whether you just want to make it easy and, I don't know, ferry your ass through it, ride a unicorn or something. I don't care. It's time to get to the other side. And you're such a trailblazer for us to do that. And for you to bring the intelligence into the physical body. I feel like that's the state of the game that we're in right now, is the embodiment of the intelligence, right? We get a lot of really great aha moments, downloads. We're having cool dreams, right? The energies are high right now. There's a lot of synchronicity. Yeah. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to begin to address your own body so that you can express all of these codes? And it happens in phases, I find. First, we've got to clear out the trauma. You're right. The body keeps score, and our bodies are holding somatic memory of our traumas, not only in this lifetime, but our previous lifetimes. And that energy's got to get moved and released. And once we do enough of that, then we've got free bandwidth that we get to put towards furthering our creative energy, our inspiration, our artistry. We get to come together and create and collaborate. And that's the phase that we're in. So Dr. Remy, let's move into, actually, let's play. What do y'all think? First of all, let's tap into the audience here.
Yes.
They're hearing, yes. Philip says you don't have to work yourself to death to be incredible. Oh, yeah. Regina. Yeah. See, I got good students in here. Y'all listen. Thank you, amazing people. All right. Anything pinging in your field before we play another game? I know when we get together, we just like start synergizing.
I like this one. Colossus says, light and shadow warriors, system overriders, dismantlers. I like that one.
I like that one too. Big swords coming out there. All right. All right. Let's play another game. All right. This one is called Akashic Would You Rather. It is a pretty clean version. We're still early in the show, guys. You haven't watched Underground or After Dark yet. Okay. Okay. Akashic, would you rather? Dr. Remina, would you rather download a new healing modality or recall a past life memory?
Download a new healing modality.
Woo! I heard. Have you done that before? I mean, it sounds like you have. I mean, I think assimilation of different knowledge that we have, that is downloading new healing modalities for me. That was another thing that I wrote down. And what I'm noticing for the wisdom keepers, the visionaries, thought leaders, those of you who hold this ancient medicine and wisdom within you, we're being called to play with it, play chemistry, mix and match, right? It reminds me of being a kid. I freaking loved Jelly Bellies. And on the back of the package, they gave you recipes where you could mix them. I was alchemical from the time I was little. Creating your own medicine is really important. It was a good one. Have you created your own medicine before?
I am now. That's what my mission is.
That's rebellious medicine we'll talk about. Okay, answer one more question and then you can tell us about the medicine you're creating. Would you rather meet your future self or your original soul star lineage?
Oh, that's a tough one.
A good one.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to go with future self because it's all about becoming. We're already there. We're just living it out. So I want to meet my future self.
All right, I love it. Y'all, I want to hear from you in the audience too. Let me know the answer to both of those questions. All right, the first Akashic would you rather is download a new healing modality or see a past life. Okay. And then the second Akashic would you rather is, would you rather meet your future self or your starseed lineage? All right. Let us know in the comments while we take it underground. This is where we're going to start talking about the rebellion that's happening and how you're a part of it. And I'm sure everybody's already started to get a hint based on the warrior that you are and the brilliant mind that you are and the doer that you are. But talk to us about this powerful project, and I'll put up the link for everybody so you guys can dive in and join us for her book launch. But take it away. Yeah, tell us how you're creating rebellion out there.
Oh my goodness, so many ways that once you're on this path, you start teaming up with those like-minded, and we all have different set of skills. Like you and I, when we met, and it's all part of the same path. We are in the new earth. And so I started with the new medicine, but the new medicine really isn't new. It's all within you. It's all within. And I want to give people the tools of true healing. It's personalized, not stay in the sick system. And true healing, it's not just the symptom approach. It's everything we just talked about, right? It's our past. It's what our self-talk is, our mindset, our mind, body, and spirit, not just the physical form. A lot of times when you're prescribing medicine, that's what you're doing in conventional medicine, but I take it a little bit differently. When you need it, it's there. But the best part is simply getting back to what works, right? Look at how are you sleeping? Then you go into like the dream aspect, right? The dreams, downloads, right? How are you sleeping? And then you can add in like the biohacks, but simple. It detoxes your brain. It opens up the channels of creativity. It fuels your whole body. It helps prevent mental illness. It helps prevent Alzheimer's, right? Sleep. And then you look at nutrition. Especially in the United States, our food system is so toxic. There's so much toxicity out there. It's like they want to keep us highly processed and sick, right? So if we can at least control what we can, eat nutritious foods, and then you can tap into other things, right? Like protein. We are so misguided at the government level. You know, they tell us that the minimal requirement for protein is 0.8 grams of kilograms per body weight. That's to prevent deficiency. That's not to prevent to expand longevity and be your highest health. You need at least 1 to 1.5, right? So you were talking about maybe 100 and something grams of protein a day, right? That is what the difference is in good quality protein. So I think it's just simple things like that. And then of course, getting back to real food, all that's going to fuel you. That's going to fuel you. And then I add in the biohacks that you don't even need to go get a prescription, right? Are you doing the right exercise? We know that muscle is the organ of longevity. So if you do resistance training, that's number one. If you're a man or a woman, regardless, it helps regulate your nervous system too, right? So if you have the right nutrition, the sleep, your nervous system is regulated. And I'll tap into that in a few minutes because you're getting the power back to yourself, going back to what works. And the more we know about it, the more it comes to light, because this is my big qualm is there's so much in conventional world that's run by insurance companies and big pharma, and it's misleading. It's an illusion. And so when the real people that get it, that speak, it's like they shut it down, right? And that's everywhere, right? If you come across the people that aren't exact, I guess they don't like disruptors, right? We've all experienced that. It's like that in medicine too. And so I want to take that away and really have people see through that they have the tools. They don't need to fall into big and listen to all that misguided stuff. Some of it is okay, but it's influenced by the wrong people, right?
So, well, and yeah, so when you're talking about the they and the wrong people, like my dad was asking me that this morning. I was talking about they tried to dumb down our consciousness, and he's like, well, who's the they? Right? And I have my own answer for him, and I'm happy to share that, but I'd love to pick your brain a little bit more. Like, who is the they to you?
You know, I think what was it? The light and dark. And it's not necessarily only in the spiritual world, but it's also in the present everyday physical world that we see. Yes, light and shadow. Yeah, that's the one. But it's a constant battle. And it could be because we're in such a system that we have so much knowledge and technology that it's hard to spot out sometimes. So that's what I mean. Yes, it's anything that's going to, dumb down your consciousness basically, but then also your knowledge. And people, for me in this instance, is that, we could stick to the medical system, right? They want to keep you sick. They keep you sick because that's what keeps the money going in the hospitals and everything. So that's a prime example of it, right? So if I'm giving you the pill, per se, the pill of how to have longevity and wellness and be around, the life doesn't have to be in the hospital and poor quality of life. It doesn't have to be that way. And if you give people these tools, right? Like now, like I said, if you sleep, if you eat appropriately, the right nutrients, the right exercise, right? If you build muscle, you prevent the most common things that lead you in the hospital: falling, breaking your hip, and getting sick, a complication after another. And then the other sickness, right? Mental. So we go back to, mind, body, spirit. What are you doing with stress relief? Stress is such an inflammatory reaction in your whole body and your brain, right? So it wrecks your nervous system. And this is where I love, because yes, if you have the connection of the spiritual ancient practices, but then you add in the science behind it, people actually listen because it makes sense. And that's where I speak the knowledge into it. So one of my favorite tools that I bring in is, yes, I teach nervous system regulation. You don't need to have an antidepressant. Maybe sometimes it's there for a reason, but we have plant medicine, right? Plant medicine is so good, but then some, look at it. If it's good for you, it's restricted, right? So, but there are plant medicine. It's beautiful. There's data that shows, for instance, psilocybin changes your brain structure. Who would not want that? For the better. It changes it so you're more receptive to change your nervous system, to awaken also the spiritual level, to make connections. And then, so I mean, in the States, I sadly cannot do that yet, but hopefully we will. But we know when we tap into like other healers, shamans and others, there are ceremonies that are brought in. but that takes you on a whole nother level. But it gets back to your nervous system and what sets in, right? Your body doesn't know the difference between actual trauma or perceived trauma, right? Big T trauma or small t, meaning the small events that added up maybe in your developmental years, right? That affect you now. Or if you perceive like your boss is going to fire you, you're nervous, or if you're getting chased by a bear, actual trauma, right? And so I don't know where y'all are. Maybe you're getting chased by a bear.
All going well. Just saying. Okay, keep going.
Right. So what happens, right? Your body is trying to save you. It's very smart. It's in the fight or flight sympathetic nervous system response. That's important. What happens is when the threat is gone, your body balances your parasympathetic nervous system. The rest digests, right? So that's where good healing and balancing happens, right? What happens when you're constantly in that fight or flight, right? So there's this neurochemical, or there's this chemical called cortisol. That's your main stress hormone. There's others, but for simplicity purposes, cortisol. So if your cortisol is high constantly, you may feel the effects of, gosh, you're having heart racing, or you're just racing mind, or maybe it goes even further, because burnout is simply stress gone unchecked. In simple terms, it's stress gone unchecked. And what is stress overall, right? It's adding processed foods, right? Because there's processed foods, not sleeping, stress, right? From mental, like relationships or whatever the case is, your body responds to it the same because it's stress. It increases your cortisol. When your cortisol is high, the rest of your entire body, right? Your male and female hormones, they tank. You're not trying to procreate when you're stressed, right? So like your libido goes down, your hair is lost, like your body composition changes, you have gut issues, right? And then that goes even deeper. Yes, gut brain axis, right? So gut, brain, gut, mental illness, mental whatever, gut, right? So it goes tapped. So what I love to do is, once I empower people the importance, how powerful they are, and they have the tools, it's amazing. So when we look at our nervous system, the vagus nerve is one of the longest nerve in our bodies, and it's the most accessible. So vagus
nerve in your body, y'all. I'm just saying. Just saying. Keep on.
So you see people gargling or doing like massages, right? I wouldn't recommend doing it twice because you may make yourself pass out. But if you did do that, but simply also breathing, breath work, box breathing, 4, 7, 8 count. It takes 30 seconds to tell your body that you're safe. And then your breath is always with you. And I love that. And that's simple.
Teach us, Dr. Remina, teach us.
Yeah, right? let's do like cycles of box breathing. Yeah.
Come on.
So you can close your eyes or open your eyes, but we'll just do like a box worth. So we could just start with your regular cadence of breathing. Just breathe in and out. And on your next inhale for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And when you're ready, just come back to your normal breath.
Good stuff.
So it's a brief one. But even if you start just that, like it's just, whoa, I'm breathing. Yes, prana, the breath. Yes.
Yes. All right. So I'm curious about what kind of resistance have you personally experienced, whether it's family or government or colleagues, as you've had to step out? Because I know there are so many people out here. I see y'all out there. I know how powerful you are, that have missions to step out and help the planet. And as a human, it can be challenging, right? Because we're stepping out in a new identity sometimes with our family. So what has the resistance looked like for you?
There's external, but there's also internal too, right? And as you're expanding, it's almost like you have to overcome your own limitations. Each new level, you have to let go. And so when I said in the beginning, just receive and let go of the resistance. If you have a calling, you follow. That's going to produce a certain frequency, but it goes back to simply, do y'all listen to Abraham Hicks? I don't know. Do y'all any love? Yes. I just saw her live and she was pretty awesome. But like,
well, I'll be honest. It probably took me at least a decade to figure out that it was a her, but yes, I am on board now. I keep the list. I cleaned off my desk, so it'd be cleaner when you got here. But I keep the list of the scale, of emotions, where you tap in, you figure out where you are, and then you go for one higher. That one.
Yes. I love that. But simply you go for the feeling, the good feeling, right? So if you have that negative emotion that's holding you back, even though it's a new level, but you tap in, what is that? Is it fear? Is it your internal previous trauma, right? So I think that at times our biggest battle as we say, it's your biggest war zone is within yourself. And so that's why I'm so big on that. Yeah. External stuff, you're gonna have those. It's always the light and dark, always in every situation. But as long as you can tap into yourself and work on yourself, then you know how to take on the rest. Just own your truth.
I have found nervous system work in regulation and healing. Actually, those are all different things. Okay. Nervous system healing has been incredibly important for me. And it's different than regulating. Regulation for me is like more about prevention from explosions and triggers. So I'm so happy that there's awareness in the audience. There's awareness with you around how important the nervous system, how important it is that we heal it. What do you think is possible for humanity once we actually calm our shit down?
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine people would actually take a breath before reacting? It would be a response. There would be communication. One of the things that I love putting out there is I do these workshops or events where I actually take my sound bowls. And what's really interesting, I've had really high performing people. They're like, wait, is that woo-woo stuff, right? And I'm like, no, actually, well, yeah, we got ancient spiritual practices, but I'm going to focus on the science. And then they eventually see, oh, it's been working for decades. And this is how. Well, what I explain to them, and this is what I'm out there with people that aren't completely awakened, but they realize that their nervous system is out and they can't really tap into doing mindfulness, meditation, or breath work. Well, one of the ways I sneak it in there is take my sound bowls. So what happens is when your brain is just anxious and just on fire, it lights up differently on brain imaging. When you add these tools, even looking at brainwave measurements, when you do these tools, anything that regulates the nervous system, any healing practices, it changes your brain waves and lights it up, changes your brain waves into a theta wave, right? So your Zen zone. And so what does that do? Once people know that, they're like, oh, okay, so there's science behind it. And we know that this has been beneficial for way before we were alive. And we know that it does, in a way, balance your biochemistry. Your nervous system is just a part of it, but we know that sound can help rewire your brain. So neuroplasticity, making new connections, new behaviors. It also can change your DNA, right? So what does that tell you? You can really heal yourself.
So yeah, changing the DNA, like this frequency right here, the Om frequency, I've been shooting that one into my body for, I don't know, this one at least 2 decades. This is a 432. I love, what's the 524? There we go. 524 is known as the miracle frequency that they've actually tested in scientific labs, and it's been known to repair broken DNA.
Love that. So powerful, cool. Right?
Although what I don't know is, I mean, I believe you. I just want to know. Teach us again, Dr. Remina. When you talked about the sound being able to help us create new neural pathways, I'm really curious about that because that's super important. That's basically the rewiring of our patterns, guys. So when I teach people that we're rewriting the Akashic records, we're rewriting what is possible in the etheric realm, but that's got to then get embodied. We've got to override our own programming in some way. So I'm really curious how sound is connected to the rewiring of our thought patterns. Would you speak to that some more? Well, I'll take some notes here.
Well, we know when you go down a pathway of whether it's negative or positive or lifestyle or a mindset pattern, right? The first thing is you have to be aware. Well, if you can't be aware because you're constantly racing, right? How are you going to stop that? Well, what I love about the sound waves, it doesn't matter how stressed I've seen someone become. Like I've seen really amazing CEOs, just constant go, 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 that don't turn it off, that are like, you can even feel the stress, right? Like we can feel people's energy, especially if we're in that world, right? And so I'm like, just trust me. And so the sound breaks down that barrier. What it is the wave. So our bodies have water as well. We're organs, but we also have water. So the waves, when you're there in person, it can also heal the resistance in your body, hence the same way of your brain. So that in itself makes you aware, wait, I haven't been able to breathe or relax. So if that's the first thing you could do is break that pattern, right? Break that pattern. It takes about 21 days to create a new habit. 21 days just to create it, right? If you sustain it longer, then that's how you can actually have long-term benefit. And that's how you have long-term recreation of patterns. But you want to at least start with 21 days. So what does that tell you? The waves literally break out the resistance in your mind as well as the body. So once you have that tool, you break the friction, then you can actually start. You're going to wake up, you're going to figure out, you're going to be aware of where your patterns are. And knowing that, and another term, epigenetics, that's just a fancy scientific term as well, right? Epigenetics, we have genes in our bodies that basically have a switch to turn it on or off, right? You have certain, let's say, you inherit certain, not only patterns, but also like medical history, right? Like say you got diabetes or high blood pressure, right? In your family, that doesn't mean that you're doomed to get it too, or anything else. Because what happens is with the lifestyle and the awareness, you can turn those switches on or off. So you really do have certain ways to rewrite that and turn the switches on and off. So that's how it goes back to creating your new nervous system pathway, as well as helping rewrite and turn switches on and off.
Awesome. All right, let's talk about your book that's being released next week, right? We got like a couple days. We're like T-minus how many days and counting?
Less. It's on Wednesday. Yeah. And today it's next week. It's like 6 days.
Yay. I love it. Yeah. So tell us more about the book. And here's what I want to know. I want to know what the book was about and where we can join you for your book launch, because you've given us this special invitation, and tell us a little bit more about that. And yeah, any exciting or fun stories that were part of your experience writing this book. Okay, take it away.
Yes. Oh my goodness. First I was like, I don't know, should I write this book? Who's going to read it? And then I was like, well, you know what? Someone out there is going to resonate with this. Someone's going to resonate, and someone needs that push. Someone needs to hear this, right? And so I was like, okay, we always have people that come to us and I was just getting a lot of downloads and a lot of signs saying the world needs it. There are people that listen and that need you to truly help heal them. And that's part of my bigger mission is if I really want to give people the tools, and sometimes they don't have maybe access to, what I do or just someone else out there, then at least if I can give them a book and then they can take the healing into their own hands. So it's part memoir and part pillars. And I have a workbook to like a supplemental guide that helps you. So you really can try to heal your mind, body, spirit. So all the things that I went through personally, right? How did the things that are weaved within people that thought, that underestimated me, right? But then how I broke that pattern and took it into my own hands, right? How do people become so great, right? They had a journey to go through. And so if I share the vulnerable moments, because that's where strength is, the vulnerable moments and the power of all that healing that I went through that I didn't realize at the time that I'm sharing now that helps me be the healer that people need. That's how like I shared my journey. And there's so many people that have read parts of it already that are like, oh my gosh, yes, I've always doubted myself, or I didn't have the resources, or I've struggled with self-worth, or I've had imposter syndrome, right? Like there's something in that, but that's all part of healing. And then having the tools that I discovered personally, and then seeing, you know what? This is how you bridge the gap. Combine Eastern and Western medicine and truly give the people the power to heal. So it is helping people on a truly holistic level. And so I thought, you know what, why don't I just make this the launch party that just make it fun. Let's just talk about, have a couple of my friends are going to be speaking, and it'll be interactive. There'll be giveaways and question and answer sessions, and just having fun and celebrating my first book. And I'm owning it, and I'm proud of it. And I want to share it.
I'm owning it and proud of you too. Akashic Academy, I'm going to give away a free 30-minute Akashic reading and activation there. So I put the link in the comments. We flashed it up. It's happening next Wednesday. You said what time, Dr. Remy?
7 p.m. Central.
Cool. So 7 p.m. Central time, guys. Stay tuned for that. I love me a good workbook, girl. Yeah. Like the teacher in me sees the teacher in you. I love creating workbooks and worksheets for people. And I really feel like this is an opportunity to transform. Like it's the gateway. When you tap into applying the information to yourself, which is what the workbook, what take two, breathe them. I told you I was excited about the workbook, y'all. Okay. So here's what happens when you're writing in your workbook is first you're applying the knowledge to yourself, right? So there's this embodiment, there's a self-reflection stage where you are going on a quest for self-knowledge. Anytime you go on a quest for self-knowledge, your Akashic records, whether you call them that or not, will meet you in that quest to illuminate the path for you. Okay. I love myself a good app too, but the workbook, here's why the workbook is so amazing. Because as humans, as we move energy, awareness, consciousness through our body, through our hand, and then we're creating letters, we're creating geometry. These are the first steps of moving that energy from the etheric world into form, into matter. Okay, you're creating geometry. Sacred geometry is the stage where we start moving into form and matter. That's why I love me a good workbook. I'm telling you, there's more magic there than just the good questions and the cool pictures we put in there for y'all. Okay, so high five on that. Like my soul feels you when it comes to making workbooks for everybody.
Yes, I love it.
Right on. All right. Well, thank you for giving us, the personal VIP invite too. So everybody, this is it. Make sure you get registered so you can come hang out with us. Yay. Keep hanging out with the cool people as we're going to turn it down one more notch here. And we're going to take it into the Akashic Academy After Dark and bring this into an even deeper, more intimate conversation of stuff that people don't get behind the scenes. So let's just start there and talking about intimacy. So for you, Dr. Remy, I just got chills through my whole body. Yeah. So what intimacy, since you've been on a spiritual journey and had so much realization in your life, where are you at with intimacy and what does that mean to you in your life right now?
Yeah. Well, even when you think about,
I know, take two.
I get so excited.
Excited.
We're feeling each other's energy.
We're going to talk about soul intimacy, y'all.
Yes, I love it. We're all nerding out. I feel it.
Here. That's all.
So really, when you think about even the term, the word intimacy, into me, I see, right? That's true intimacy, right? If you can get in tune with yourself, then imagine that when you're in alignment, that's the most important intimacy, the most alignment of yourself that you are, then you're going to attract the right people on the path. Hence, like the terms of like soulmate, right? Soulmates could be anyone, could be your soul family, the people that come along that are your friends that are so familiar, right? Because you've done the work and they've done the work and you match each other's frequency. To me, that's intimacy. And then having the ability to tap into yourself, to tune in to your higher self, taking the time to pause, to just meditate, to breathe. And to me, that intimacy, if you can align with yourself, then the rest of the people that you draw into your circle and the way that the universe aligns, that's the right path that I see.
Yep. Okay, so as you've gotten more intimate with yourself, are you open to sharing with us, like, what are some of the more challenging aspects of where you get in your own way, or where, you know, you trip yourself up? What does that look like?
Oh gosh, even now,
still dealing with.
What am I dealing? Oh, let's talk about the secrets. So, you know, even every level, like I said, is a new challenge. So one of the things is, I would say, be vulnerable, that it's okay. And this is something that I also, because I've worked on it on myself, I see it. We're in the society of hustle, right? That to accomplish something, you have to burn yourself out. And that's something that I struggle with, right? I mean, all the hats that I wear, especially the most important one right now is, yes, being a mom, but then also a physician, an entrepreneur, and all that. I need to be okay with just pausing and not just pushing. Like, if my body is saying it's just breathe, just do the regulation, nervous system regulation, take time for myself, go do something, go outside in the sunshine, be in touch with nature, right? And refill my cup up so then I could be there for other people and give more and be the best mom that I can be. To me, that is my struggle, that I am doing enough and I'm just getting my own head that I'm not.
Yeah, that was a message that came in on the Akashic Answers show, Akashic Answers with Emily yesterday, was just, that's what we need to know, is that we are enough. And yeah, I'm with you. The hustle society that we're in right now, I've definitely learned to measure my worth and identity by how much I can get done and how much I can accomplish, and as a woman, and like, I tell myself all of those stories. And there's, I'm proud of the strength that's behind that. And I've burnt myself out on that too. Right. And I feel like, yes, while we are so powerful, we are these God, goddess consciousness in human form, our humans are susceptible to the environment of distortion that none of us get to escape. Yeah. Right. So really recognizing our patterns and how we're working and having this high level of self-truth and self-exploration is important. And the rush society, like you said, we're moving too fast. That's the way it's hidden from us. The self-knowledge and the expansion, the tools that we're all looking for, your innate, your higher self knows the way. Society's just got you too busy being a different version of you that you think is important. And that's another thing, man, we totally operate as humans, and me too. I've studied a lot of marketing and business in my journey as a spiritual entrepreneur, because I want my business to be successful and I want to, learn how to do it right. And with marketing, I've learned so much around the psychology of marketing and what motivates humans to make decisions. And one of the number one thing that motivates us is what our friends and our social circle is going to think of us. So when society is programmed to, okay, it's about what you do and about what you're putting out there, that's going to trip all of us up. And I think it's so beautiful. Like, we met when I was interviewing you for The Way of Being, which is an amazing movement that I'm part of, and that we brought you and your mission into. There's going to be a cool interview of our time in Dallas as well. But this is really, like, it's an important transition. And I too, still get tripped up in the Maya, in the illusion.
Yeah. And we just have to accept it in a sense, but then know that that's part of the process and just come back to ourselves.
Yep. We talked about imposter syndrome a little bit before this. I will tell my imposter syndrome story. Although, did any imposter syndrome come up for you as you were writing this book? And if so, what did it look like?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, it was that little voice that wasn't my voice, right? It was the voice that's saying, well, who are you to write this book? Why are you writing this, right?
How do you know the difference? I love that you said that. It wasn't my voice. It was a different voice. So like, how do you tell the vibrational difference? Because it's subtle energy, right? So for people out there who are trying to figure out their own voice, how do you know?
Because our highest self knows that we are filled with love and lots of worth and doesn't need all those external validations. You are always filled with love. And it's just up to you to remember who you are. So I think the more you practice your spiritual, your just spirituality and tuning in, the more you tune into yourself daily, that intimacy that you have, the stronger and in tune you'll be and the better you'll get. I'm not saying it's never going to happen, right? Like sometimes it still pops up, but you'll be able to discern the difference. Like, okay, that's not truth, right? This is the truth. And then you bring in like practical tools like, okay, let's challenge this. If really I wasn't, if I was an imposter, here's the past records of what I've accomplished. So let's get back on track.
Yes, 100%. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else out there experience imposter syndrome? I've been talking about this in a lot of my conversations lately, and I actually recognize where it still comes up for me. And it's interesting. It's come up twice with you. So I've been able to see it. So when I was interviewing Dr. Remy guys back in Dallas last month for The Way of Being, there was a lot going on at this convention, and I was also teaching workshops. So I had literally just gone from teaching a workshop in the Akashic Records, where I think a different version of me comes in sometimes. I'm still very present to it. It's not like I go into a full trance channel. Although sometimes as I'm coming back into my body and attempting to be more like a normal human, there's a little pattern interrupt. So we literally went from closing the records in the workshop to transitioning to like the other side of the curtain, how this room was set up, to interview Dr. Remy. And I literally, I'm trying to remember this woman's name, and she's Dr. Remina. And I'm like, Dr. Remina. And I'm trying to get it into my brain, and it's not sticking. I'm like, what is it again? What is it? And she's like, finally, after about 3 times, she's like, you can call me Dr. Remy. And I remember it was so not sticking in my mind. I was staring at your lips and trying to get my lips to sync with yours. So it would program my human as I was coming back into my body to say it. And I attributed it at that point in time of I've shared with you guys, there's a lot of energy moving. I'm shifting hats like you're talking about. Although what I actually recognize, because at this show, it's the first show, like I shared with everybody, we're building the airplane in the air. But when we came on together live behind the scenes, she said, how are you? I'm like, I'm kind of nervous. I got a lot of energy. I want the show to go well today. And she said, Emily, you're a pro. And I said, I know. And this is where my imposter syndrome. And I'm like, and then I start putting all of the pieces together. So thank you for just allowing me to continue to grow into my own self more and to see my own patterns in your presence. That's true friendship, when we can see the cosmic mirror in each other. And I love that about you as a mom. Your gentleness just really inspired me. That's another thing, just in terms of the after dark portion, it's been a really challenging for me in going through my own PTSD and healing my nervous system, is getting my gentleness back. Because when my nervous system was discalibrated, dysregulated, uncalibrated, hopefully I made up at least 2 words out of those 3, and one of them is real.
Yeah, it is.
As I was going through that part of my own journey and still asleep to the patterns, I'm very reactive, right? I lost my gentleness, and I especially became mean and frustrated with my children. So it was a tender moment of healing as well for me to see you with your little one. And literally, you had been, talk about bandwidth, y'all. She was in my workshop, and then she did the interview, and then I think you worked all night long, so hours. Yes.
Sometimes I do night shifts just to keep my practice up. But yeah, I was getting off a hospital night shift and probably chunks of naps, and then had to juggle being a mom and come back when we met the next day. Yeah.
Well, I know it's it doesn't always look, beautiful and tidy and neat in our lives, but man, you're really showing up and holding a lot together. And I feel honored to call you my friend. Thank you for joining us here today. A reminder, everybody, I will put the link one more time of where you can join us for the book launch. But Dr. Remy, if people want to get in touch with you and get familiar with your work, where's the best way they can come find you?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so grateful our paths crossed and we're friends. And we have so much that we're going to add on to this new earth. It's going to be beautiful. It's already there. So if y'all want to find me, you can simply reach out to me on Instagram. I keep it simple. It's Dr. Remina, DrRemina. You can also email me at hello@drremina.com. And then I also have my website, www.drremina.com.
Yes. Thank you again, girl, for joining me and just sharing so much truth and so much intimacy about your journey. Y'all, thank you for being here too. If you have had fun on this series here already, please share it out. Let's get an audience going so we can come here and jam more together. And I'm curious because I got lots of friends out there. Who else do you guys want me to bring on? Let me know in the comments who you would love to come see, hang out here and play like Dr. Remy and I played today. And take care of yourselves out there, guys. I love you all. I love you, Dr. Remy. Thanks for being here. Bye.
The Akashic Records hold all information, past, present, and future, and are available to assist you now.
Do you seek answers within yourself but don't know if you can trust your intuition? Do you desire positive change in life but feel unsupported by others? Do you suffer from failure to execute but have hit your point of enough? Not only have I been there, but I have found my way out, and so can you. The Akashic Records are your key to understanding any area of stagnation and hold solutions to your greatest challenges. My mission is to teach you everything I know about the Akashic Records, how to use them with mastery, while always staying in beginner's mind, which will keep you humble yet powerful. It's all within you. Come, let me show you.
What have I gained from the Akashic Records? Reading the Akashic Records has strengthened and deepened my intuition, and at the same time allowed me to build a deeper connection with the inner wisdom of my gut and my heart in order to be able to support and challenge the decisions that I've made in my head.
Learning to read the Akashic Records helped me to cultivate the courage and the knowledge to start a new business. It helped guidance become clearer. It helped me become more confident for my entire life moving forward.